Alright. Let's try this again. Great. Our teammate can't really help us because she's in war mode. Alright, so we have... I have 3 120s with me. Welcome to the Trial of Valor raid. We have to... Ah, excellent. Unfortunately, so Mega, can you won't be able to help us with war mode on because we can't see each other. This is something that really confuses me, is the way that the war mode feature works if you enter a phased dungeon or raid together, because regardless if it should be on or off, you should then be able to join together. But it doesn't seem to always work that way. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I can't really seem to figure out how it's actually going to work. Alright, so now I'm confused as to where our teammate is going. Or is. Unfortunately, I don't know whether or not to uninvite this player or not. Oh. Someone else wants to join. Alright. We got a full raid group now. Okay. Maybe not a full raid group. You guys know what I mean, though. Okay. Oh. Oh, there we go. Alright, let's see if it worked. Alright, more and more people keep wanting to join. The more the merrier, I say. Welcome to what it's like trying to organize a raid from scratch in Legion nowadays with BFA going on. So, unfortunately... yeah, sorry. Alright. So, I'll let my teammates kind of get themselves ready here. But basically, the story of this raid... can heal, I guess. I'll probably... It looks like I'm going to have to switch to resto. I don't mind. The only issue is that my heals probably won't be that strong. Because my gear is all focused on agility, not intellect, so... Alright. Yeah, my teammates are like, yeah, we can do this now. Alright, time for a ready check. Alright. Let's do it.
Valor none can stand against Aya's chosen.
4, 3, 2, run away, little girl. Only cowards bear the cold.
Oh yeah, my teammates are wiping out quickly.
But I will judge for myself whether you are worthy.
So now we will face Odin himself.
It seems I have been
Yeah, my teammates have strong enough gear that they can withstand a whole bunch of this. The weak link here is gonna be me.
With you as my champions,
Alright, there we go.
fall, and I will at long last be free of the curse that binds me here. May your battles be glorious. My Valor. Go now, my champion.
Ah! Yeah, so we are having to go back into Helheim to... But we're... The purpose, the reason Odin wants us to do this is because in order for him to be able to actually leave the Halls of Valor, we have to defeat Helya.
Dispel.
Because Helya has a restriction on him that prevents him from being able to actually leave. Wow!
Dispel.
That pull. Go ahead and drop a couple of heals here. Got a couple of heals for myself as well. But that's kind of the one of the main purposes of this raid is we are going into Helheim again, but this time to permanently defeat Helya to free Odin from his restriction of being able to leave the Halls of Valor. But the reality is that we are here for one reason and one reason only. And that's this right here. To save Illidan's soul, because apparently it's in Helheim. How it got there, I'm not really sure, but okay. Okay, now we're in. So it turns out I'm actually not having to do that much healing. My teammates are definitely carrying me right now.
Beware, champions. Helya's realm
There's
is
Helya, and there's
inhabited by a
Guarm.
savage beast, bred from the stuff of nightmares.
I guess in lore, perhaps the only reason why we would have to do this is because Helya being around is perhaps prevents us from being able to actually save Illidan. So that's pretty much what's going on here.
Away, little girl.
At least I think that's pretty much what's going on here.
2, 1. Well fought. Now onward to Helya. This day treachery shall be ended.
I think I set this to normal by default in case you're wondering what difficulty we're doing this on.
Oh no! Oh,
He's going to be somewhere up there, but in order to get him, to save him, we have to defeat Helya first.
Shall I do? So kind of you to deliver your souls to me. It will save my Valkyr the trouble of fetching them from the surface world.
Ow. I'll go into more depth with the adventure guide and such about this raid after we're done. I just don't want to waste the time on my teammates. I also don't want to be distracted. I mean, they're hardly taking any damage, so I don't think they necessarily rely on me to keep them alive with my heals, but I'm not even doing hardly any heals anyway, because my character isn't built for that, so... Pretty much I'm the only one that needs to stay alive and be healed.
Drown in despair, lapdogs of Odin!
Run away, little girl. Run away.
Oh boy.
Soon you will join the ranks of my Vivaldi!
Ah! Oh, this tidal wave. Oh man.
Hold your longboat.
Run away, little girl. Run away. Run away, little girl. Run away, little girl. Run away.
Anchor slam.
Your efforts are for naught, mortals. Odin will never be free.
Ah! Okay.
Odin, damn you!
I'm doing no heals. There he is. Hold on, Odin. I'll talk to you in a moment. Illidan. He's... I don't know if they're saying he's been trapped here the whole time since Burning Crusade, but... I'm getting you out of here. Now remember that, because that's going to become kind of important later on when we get to the Nightwell. Thanks for your help, team.
What victories do you bring me?
It is done. Helya's reign comes to an end, and now we move forward. You have done a great thing today, champion. Consider yourself counted among those in the halls of Valor.
Bring us tales of victory. Tell me of your battles.
Get 1,000 fragments. Basically, if you were farming this raid.
May your battles
Alright.
be glorious.
I am ready to leave now.
Go now, Mage.
Alright. Let me make sure that is delisted. Alright. Nah. Just once for the quests. Okay. I don't mind playing Resto. I just don't have gear set up for that. If I usually played a Elemental, it would work, but all my stuff is geared towards agility, whereas Elemental and Resto are for intellect, so my heals probably wouldn't be doing that much anyway, regardless. Alright, so anyway, let me get the guide here on that. So, since Loken's betrayal, Odin has been trapped within the halls of Valor, as Helya plots in the shadows to claim the souls of his Valajar champions. In recent days, however, great heroes have arrived in the lands of Stormheim in the Legion's wake, hoping that their might and determination could tip the scales, and end Helya's reign. Odin summons his champions for a final test. That's one of the main purposes here is. In ages past, Odin led the Titan-forged armies against the Black Empire and of the old gods. But for millennia he has been confined to the halls of Valor by the curse of his bitter nemesis, Helya, who is his daughter, by the way. Don't forget that little detail. Helya is Odin's daughter, who he killed. Let me say that again. He killed his daughter to try to turn her into a Valkyr. And eventually it all led to her becoming, well, what you just saw. The ruler of Helheim. But for millennia he has been confined to the halls of Valor by the curse of his bitter nemesis, Helya. Odin seeks mortal champions to vanquish the ruler of Helheim and secure his freedom, which is why he asked us to fight him and his two champions to see if we were strong enough to finally take on Helya herself. Because that's how Odin works. Gwarm, Helya's vicious three-headed hound, stands guard at the gates of Helheim. Bred to require neither comfort nor sleep, Gwarm remains ever watchful for any invaders who come to challenge the reign of his cruel mistress. And, of course, Helya. Though she once served as Odin's right hand, the vengeful Helya will stop at nothing to ensure her ancient curse binds the Titan Keeper to the halls of Valor. No longer satisfied with ruling her shadowy realm, Helya now commands her vast Kavaldir army to plague the lands of the living. So that tidal wave is one mechanic I definitely remember from that. So that is basically the Trial of Valor raid. Now we gotta go. Now that we have freed... See, that was more important. I couldn't care less about helping Odin. I'm sorry. I'm one of those who does not like Odin, especially when you find out some of the things that Odin has actually done and how he treat. If you play as a warrior, oh my gosh, the warrior class hall in this game is probably the worst in terms of story and such of all the class order halls. For one thing, you are not the leader of the order hall like you are with some of the others. You remember how I am now the Farseer of the Earthen Ring? Thrall passed leadership of the Earthen Ring to me. Quiet, quiet. There are some others. Like, as the Paladin, you become the new High Lord in place of Tyrion Fordring. As the Druid, you become the new Archdruid of Valshara and the Dream Grove. As the Warlock, you become the new Netherlord of the Black Council, of the Council of the Black Harvest. As a warrior, you become the Battlelord, which is basically like a general of Odin's armies, and you become Odin's errand boy, where he's like, I want you to do this for me, go and do this, and that's basically all you do. It's pretty ridiculous. At first, when you're first going through, you're like, oh, that's cool. Then you realize, once you find out more, the true purpose of going there was not to help Odin. It was to save Illidan, because that's what's more important. So now, let's fly back to. Let me make sure I have this right. Illidan. Oh. Oh no, we're not going. Okay, hold on. We're actually going back to my order hall. Let me guess. We're going to see the Naru, Zira. Oh, I just love chatting with her. Because she's so nice, isn't she? Just so wonderful and caring and loving. Sorry, I've just gotten used to checking my mailbox after doing raids. You know what's silly is that raid also doesn't really have any loot that's interesting compared to other raids in this expansion. So it's one of those raids that you could really care less about, except for that whole, oh yeah, we have to go in there and free Illidan. That's like the only like legit thing that's interesting about that raid. Because you can only see Illidan there if you have that quest, which is cool. I am Zira, one of the first Naru to be forged here during the Great Ordering of the Cosmos. Brightly and seemingly consumes the Soul Prism. Pick that one, sell it. The Nighthold. Illidan's soul rests safely within Light's heart. Take this vessel and deliver it to Khadgar with the following instructions. When Gul'dan attempts to tear the sky asunder and bring the Dark Titan into our world, call forth the power of this vessel and release Illidan's soul into his body. Go now. We do not have much time. The Dark Ritual will begin soon. So when she says soon, she's basically referring to the end of the Nighthold raid, which is something we will do when we finish Suramar. That's basically like the order of the sequences that's supposed to work. I don't know why she was highlighted there. But when she says soon, yeah, basically, remember, Gul'dan, if you played the Demon Hunter Starter Zone, Gul'dan took Illidan's body. Because it was in a case, because Maiev is nuts, she's insane, because she was keeping Illidan's body without a soul prisoned inside the prison. Because Maiev. And so Gul'dan was like, oh, excellent, an empty vessel all preserved for me to use for my master. How wonderful. So he takes Illidan's body, because he wants to be able to use the power of the Nightwill to transfer the soul and power of Sargeras, the Titan, into Illidan's body, which is one of the most powerful bodies on Azeroth. Just think about that for a second. That's a horrifying combination. That's what Gul'dan is going to try and use the Nightwill for, to perform a ritual to transfer Sargeras' soul and consciousness into Illidan's body, because Illidan's soul isn't there anymore. So that's what we are now trying to do, is trying to prevent that and try to return Illidan's soul to his body to also thwart the plan of Gul'dan and Sargeras.
The fate of our world hangs
I
on the balance.
I will do my best, Farseer. You will, of course, have to do the hard work and lead the assault on the Nighthold. For Azeroth!
Farewell, my friend, until we meet again.
Thank you, Khadgar, for saying for Azeroth and not for the Alliance, because you, of course, this whole, people have been like, he's a traitor to the Alliance. No, he's just one of those who cares more about Azeroth as a whole instead of this stupid faction war. Especially when we are fighting the Legion. The faction war is so stupid when we are facing a foe like the Legion.
How may I help?
It's really, really stupid. Alright, so now that we did that, we will be able to continue the Suramar storyline. I'll go ahead and pick up that quest to end this part here, and then we will continue with that when we come back. So that now has set up. I don't know where exactly in the story that would have actually taken place, but I do like it as a setup and preparation before you do the Nighthold raid, which my plan is to do all the rest of the Suramar main storyline stuff up to the point where we are then told to go into the Nighthold in order to do the raid, because we'll usually get a quest by the end of that. So that's when I'm hoping to actually do that, to make it kind of work. So that way we can be able to finish up the Suramar stuff with the Nighthold raid, and then we will be able to jump into the Broken Shore, and then I can finally do all the Broken Shore stuff, so I can finally get my Class Hall mount. As well as be able to get no, not 5, 7 followers, because I'll be able to actually do the champion follower quest in the Broken Shore, as well as being able to get the class hall upgrade to have up to 7 active followers. So I can be able to use that for more of the class hall board quests and such. Let's head on in here. Let's pick up this quest from Oculus.
What is our destination?
Right, Crackdown.
Respect magic, or it will break you. No need to delay. Onto the pad with you. May your path be clear.
Alright, let's
I
start.
will get you as close to the crescent as I can. We will be in touch. Not as close as I'd like, but it will have to do. Be careful.
Uh-oh.
Die,
Illusion! What are you hiding? There seems to be a lot more Legion forces here. Teleporter. The Telemancy beacon lies in several pieces. A faint buzzing sound emanates from the cracked crystal core. Oculus' voice is audible through the noise, but the words are too distinct to make out. Whoever destroyed this beacon intended to cut off contact with the outside world. I need to check on the group.
There you are. Over here. Ellison knows about Vanther's involvement in the rebellion. He is gone. Well met.
Someone must have informed the Grand Magistrix of Vanther's involvement in the rebellion. Such violence is... Ellison, how could you? I weep for the Nightborn this day. Ellison demonstrates the ultimate disdain for her people. So many lives wasted, all to relay a message. This is what happens to those who defy her. My friend, we must answer her. We must show her that she cannot slay her people without retribution. Fight back! Ellison's purge of the waning crescent came so swiftly that few could react. Many of my people are dead or taken. Some may have endured this atrocity. We need to make sure that they are not left behind. I need you to search the houses nearby for any survivors. See if they flee before they are discovered. Reassure them that there is no reason to stay. Not here. Not while Ellison's insanity reigns.
Farewell. I will move ahead and clear out a safe haven for the survivors. Stay strong, my friend.
We will be working on taking these guys out when we come back. Stay tuned.